As we have seen and what we've understood with regards to the overall Mexican and the overall Latin American experience here in the United States, as we've understood certain things about neoliberalism and immigration, and as you have gone through the readings, hopefully you have done your book review by now, or you're understanding and you're reading the books that have been assigned for this course, that you're recognizing the significance of the economy. And what we need to appreciate is that unemployment has nothing to do with immigration. Immigration restriction legislation is but a common response to continuing patterns of labor force needs and economic cycles, foreign policy wars, and racism. So, excuse me, what you have learned in this class is that the community has been very important as a political force. And the community has to be reckoned with regards to the Chicano movement, with regards to the civil rights movement. And so when we take a look at the economy, jobs do not have a national identity. Just take a look at this border. There's many factors that affect the unemployment rates. And since the 1980s, and since the Ronald Reagan administration, and since neoliberalism has occurred, deregulation and deindustrialization is the norm. There's been a decline in federal social spending. There's been a rise in plant closures and outsourcing. And so there's all these structural changes that have occurred. High-paying manufacturing and government jobs have evaporated. Meanwhile, service sector jobs have been created. So there's an industrial revolution, a new industrial revolution going on, but not here in this country. Now, back then, when we covered the 1880s or at the turn of the 20th century, the Industrial Revolution brought workers to the factory. So we got to see how the United States brought workers all over from throughout the world. Since World War II, there's been a post-industrial revolution where industries and workers now have been relocated. There's a new international division of labor that has been going on, where labor-intensive portions of operations have moved out of the United States. Now, it started in the 1880s, where New England's factories moved to the South to take advantage of poor, widowed white women. Then in the 1940s, it moved to Puerto Rico, which became known as Operation Bootstrap. And then in the 1960s, it moved to Mexico, which was known as the Border Industrialization Program that has brought us the maquilas. In the 1970s, it moved to the Caribbean and Haiti, primarily, in the 1980s in Santo Domingo, or the Dominican Republic. And then in the 1990s, it moved to Central and South America. Now, at the turn of the century, it's moving to Asia, India, Taiwan,